Huh? What do you think? Our little abode has grown. We've got it cleared out a little bit. How great does it look? I'm kidding. It doesn't look very good at all, but that's kind of the whole point, is that we're just trying to get a little bit of a safe spot built up. It's not meant to look awesome yet. That's for later. But, yeah, we made a little bit of progress since the last episode. We cleared a little bit of a space out, moved a couple things around, and got set up for our episode today. So welcome to the second episode of Live to Learn. I'm really excited. We have some fun stuff figured out for today. And so let's look at our inventory here. We don't have too much to do. I think one of the first things we need to do is probably make a chest for storage, because today we're gathering resources. We're going to go out and get some wood to make a full set of tools, and I'm going to make some cobble. We got to get some cobble with our pickaxes and whatnot, and we're going to dig back in here a little bit to get some of that cobble. In fact, I can do that while we're talking. So yeah, we're going to get a little bit of cobble out of here, make a full set of tools. We're going to go get some wood, and I went ahead and I set up a little demonstration for us with all the different kinds of wood that are in the game, so you can get a sense of what it's like. And yeah, this can get pretty boring, but as we get back in here, one of the things I'm looking for, and I'm also listening for, are cave sounds. You can hear different all the different mobs and things that live back here in caves, and I'm hoping I'm going to find one back here, because that's how we're going to get all of our ores. We need to get a bunch of iron to get the better tools. You can also make tools out of things like gold and diamonds, and you can also make all of your armor out of those things, besides just leather. And then there's a whole suite of other tools that we will, or other ores that we use in the game, like coal, of course, is what we use to cook all of our food and whatnot. There's redstone that you can use to build some pretty cool devices. I use it pretty frequently. And one of the other things I want to show you right here is I picked these guys up. See, there's 63 cobblestone. If I pick up this last one here, there's 64. I'll get 2 more pieces here just to show you. But there, so when you get to 64, and this works on pretty much all kinds of woods and dirt and granite, different kinds of stone and rock and things like that. You can stack up to 64, except for things like doors and eggs. There's a handful of things you can only stack to 16. So now that we have all this stone or cobblestone, let's go ahead and make a chest. I'm going to show you how to make that so you have some place to store it. So you open up your crafting table, you right click, and you can use any wood for this. And again, I'll show you a bunch of different kinds of wood, but you just kind of swipe this around in a circle, very similar to how we made a furnace. And you can see there a chest. Grab that bad boy, you put it down in your hotbar down here, and right click to place it. And you notice on your inventory, your pockets, so to speak, you've got 9 across and 3 down, so you have 27 storage and part of your inventory, and then of course you have your 9 on your hotbar. So you've got quite a bit there, but it fills up pretty fast. So one of the good things to do is make multiple chests, and you can store a lot of this stuff, so you have access to it later. It's like right now I don't need any dirt, don't need my granite doors, don't need any of this rotten flesh. Oh, by the way, this came up from the last episode. In between, as I was cleaning some of this out, I was surprised by a zombie, and so I had to take him out. And the one thing that zombies drop, as you can hear him in the background there, is rotten flesh. And you can use that if you're in an emergency and you're really hungry and you need it. You can eat it. It'll give you poison, but it'll only last for a little while, but it'll get your food back up. And if you have a stack of them, it's a good way to keep from dying if you need it. You also can feed it to your dogs, which we'll get a couple of dogs later on. But yeah, there you go. Those are the kind of the key ones. So now what we need to do, it's still sunny outside, we need to make our tools. And we already made a stone sword and our stone pickaxe. We don't really need the wood pickaxe anymore, but we do need to make more tools, as we need more sticks. So let's go ahead and make 12 more, or 13, so we got 12 more sticks in there. Then we need to make, I think I'm going to go ahead and make another pickaxe. So again, that's swipe 3 across the top there, 3 on top, and then 2 more in the middle there will give you a stone pickaxe. We'll save that for later. And then let's go ahead and make a axe, which also takes 3 cobble in that pattern. And you can do this once you have different ores like gold, diamonds, things like that. You can put them in the same pattern. And then you sweep them down and you got yourself a stone axe. Next one we need is a, starting to rain, darn it, a shovel. And so let's, you put 1 cobble on top, 2 more sticks again, and that gives you a shovel. And then the last tool in our set of tools here is a hoe. And you need that for farming. And you only need 2 cobble up on top like that, and 2 sticks once again will give you a stone hoe. And we'll show you how to use that a little bit later on. You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and turn... Oops. Oh, come on. Our sounds down. That weather is really loud, so I'll turn it down to like a 5. See how that sounds? That's better. So it's still raining, but it's not too bad. Alright. So we have our cobble now. We have our set of tools. We don't need this guy anymore. We'll keep those sticks just in case we need them. We'll keep our spruce and our cobblestone. And oh, you know, I wish I had wool so I could show you guys how to sleep. Darn, those zombies are close. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out for a second. We'll wait until the weather passes a little bit, and then we'll take you guys out and show you all about the wood and the trees. So maybe we'll even clear a little bit more of this out in the meantime. But we'll be back in just a sec. Alright, we're back, and as you can see down here, I've done a fair amount of clearing out. You can see my inventory. I've got tons of cobble and andesite and diorite and dirt and more things, and a couple of mobs that I ended up having to kill back in here. String comes from spiders, arrows and bows come from skeletons, and of course more rotten flesh from zombies. But we'll talk a little bit more about this in a little bit, and including we're going to go down and explore a cave that I found. But first, I'm going to drop this stuff off, and we're going to go look at some wood. So the first thing I want to show you is a quick way to kind of empty your inventory into your chest. So you know, as I had mentioned just a minute ago, you stack to 64 in each one of your cells, and then it just continues filling up more cells until your entire inventory is full. But a quick way to get this into your chest is you can right-click again, and you can kind of swipe and create, what would I call these, sort of the nesting. You know, these are the base cells. You know, you have one type of item in each cell, and then when you shift right click, you can see how it filled up the first cobblestone until it reached 64, and then automatically bumped to the next one. And so you can just real quickly come through and right click on each one of those, and it just continues to fill it up. Or you can just select a whole group and drop it in there, the andesite, and you can drop it right on top of the other one, and it stacks everything together. Same with dirt. So it's pretty easy. Or you can just shift click and click on all the things you want to get out of your inventory, and automatically left to right just fills up. So there's kind of a quick tip and a way to get rid of a lot of your the stuff that are in your inventory, and you want to put it into your chest. So that's a pretty easy tip. And now let's go out here, and we are going to look at this little demonstration I have set up over here. But you know what, actually before I do that, let me point this out real quick. As we mentioned in the last episode, if you hit W, that's your regular walking speed, and you know, this is about how quickly you can walk. And if you hit your sprint key, you can see if I quit falling down here, you can see how much faster you go. One other way to go even faster is actually hopping. And so if you're sprinting and you're right now I'm holding down my space bar key and I'm hopping, you can see how much faster you go. You can jump down hills. That's a good example of what not to do because I fell too far, more than 3 blocks. But that's a really quick way to get away from somebody that's chasing you, or a zombie that's chasing you, or something like that. You can just hop around. And the only thing to know about that is that it eats up your food. It eats your meat pops. Every 20 hops is equivalent to one of your meat pops down there. So it gets rid of food a lot faster than it normally would. I thought I heard a pig. I was going to get that pig. I need the food. Where'd he go? I lost him. Anyway, where'd he go? I thought I heard him. Sometimes they climb the trees. Maybe he's flying. When pigs fly, ah, there he is. Let's go get him real quick. This is a good way to show you how to get food. Uh, pork. It's nice to see that he has all 4 feet back. Must have been a glitch earlier. But anyway, let's come over here and I want to show you this wood real fast. This is just a little, this is why I wanted creative mode, so it's easy for me to set this up, because right now I don't have any of these biomes. I haven't gone and visited any of them in this game yet, but this gives you an idea of the different types of wood. There's really 6 main types of wood, or 6 types of wood period, not main, but 6 types of wood in the game. And when you chop them down, you get what are these right here are called logs. These are the logs. And then when you craft them, of course it crafts them into planks. And then out of those planks you can also make half slabs. And there's a lot of value in half slabs. We'll talk about those. You can do also stone brick and nether brick, and there's a lot of other things you can actually craft into half slabs as well as stairs. And there's some things you can't, like andesite, some of the new rocks and stones that came into the game in 1.7 and 1.8. The diorite and things like that, they're not craftable yet into these, but the older things like stone are still. But yeah, so just a quick look at these. You can look at this is a birch tree. It's a lot lighter in color. It comes in a couple of biomes. Birch forest is the main one, but it shows up in a couple other ones as well. Oak tree is probably the most, I would say, probably one of the more prevalent in the game. It shows up in a couple of different biomes like swamps and forests and things like that. And there are some special characteristics with the oak trees that we can talk a little bit more later, especially in growth patterns. Both of these typically will only grow in 1 block wide and then several blocks tall on different variations, but things like dark oak and spruce, they'll actually grow in a pattern of 4 individual blocks, or 2 by 2, and hopefully we'll see some of those trees. I'll grow a spruce here in just a minute with my demonstration to show you what that looks like. But so these are lightest, got birch and then oak, and then spruce, and then dark oak are kind of the browns in terms of lightest to darkest. I probably should have switched these 2 around. And then you have jungle trees and acacia trees. These are both relatively new in the game. This jungle has a little bit more of a red tint. I think a lot of people don't really like the patterns that these create, but there's some things that look pretty good with that jungle, that kind of red tint. Then you have a much more orange tint in the acacia tree, and this is actually one of my favorites. I really love this gray bark. I use this in a lot of my builds, actually. And yeah, so I just wanted to show you generally how these things worked. Dark oak trees, you're going to find these almost exclusively, I believe, in the 2 by 2 4 block pattern sizes. And I did spend some time kind of running around a little bit, and we don't have a biome near us that has that, so it's going to take us a while to find those, and then we'll have to bring them back and grow them here. Spruce trees, we are in this taiga. I'll even show you. So I'll hit my F3 on my screen, and up here on the left hand side you'll see the debug screen, and third from the bottom one shows biome. We're in that taiga, and then looks like over there might be some extreme hills, but almost I think everything around here is spruce, so we're going to be building with a lot of that probably. And hopefully eventually we're going to find these guys. They're pretty rare. Jungle biomes are quite rare. Savanna is much more common, but yeah, there you go. And then I'll show you this little trick too. I wanted to grow a 4 by spruce tree just so you can see what it looks like. And this is also a good example of showing you how you can use bone meal to grow a tree. I think I can grow it here. I might have enough room. I hope I do. You know what? I'm going to clear a little of this out just in case. A lot of times they want 3 spaces next to them, so let's go ahead and clear this too. Three by 3, that should be plenty. I think you could probably grow it closer than that, but I will see. And so what you can do is you have this bone meal, and I wish I had that with the bones with me. but I didn't get any drops from the skeletons. And so skeletons will drop bones, arrows, and bows sometimes, but bones a lot more frequently. And so you'll see a bone in your inventory, and you can drop it into a single cell. You can either craft it in your head with one of these or in a crafting table. You'll just drop it in there, and then you'll see the bone meal show up, and you get 3 bone meal for every bone. And it's a great way to grow crops and trees really quickly. So you just hit it with your right button, and sometimes it'll take a lot more, and so there you go, boom. And you can see what happens between your typical spruce tree here. This is very common for a 1-block spruce tree in terms of size, all these are, but this is not at all, well, this is maybe a little tall. But that's not overly atypical for a large spruce tree. And so you can see you just get tons and tons of wood out of this guy. And I'm going to show you a couple of different ways of how to chop down trees that I would recommend. And so the advantage, of course, of having an axe over using your hand. And here's a good example. If I use my hand, it takes like 16 hits, I think, to actually remove that piece of wood, versus a stone axe, which takes 1, 2, 3, 4. Takes 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I think an iron takes 3 hits, and a diamond takes 2, perhaps. And then after you enchant them, you're even getting more than that. Did that stay up there? It did, didn't it? So you can also you can break the leaves to drop things down to you as well. And then the other thing that will happen with these leaves, see if we can kind of just stay here for a second. You can see how they're degrading. They're just sort of disappearing, and there's a algorithm, of course, that's in the game that tells it how quickly these things degrade. They go pretty quick. A trio might take a minute or two, and a certain percentage, I think it's under 10%, like in the 3 to 5% range of these leaves, when they degrade, will drop another sapling. Of course, it's going to start raining, and so I was hoping we'd be able to stay here and watch the saplings drop, but it's raining. This is where we need a bed. That's one thing we're going to go do next. But unfortunately, it's nighttime. And so, again, I'm going to go ahead and pause for a minute, because I don't really want to just spend 3 minutes with you watching me stand in the doorway while the rain falls and it's dark. So I'll be back in just a minute, and we'll see how far this thing degrades. And then I'm going to show you how to chop down a tree that's this tall really efficiently. So we'll be back in just a minute. Alright, here we come back. It's a new day, and the rain is gone, thank goodness. This tree's in my way. And there's 2 things I actually want to show you with this real fast, too, while I'm thinking about it before I cut it down. You can kind of see the block outlines there. I think I mentioned that in the last episode, but just in case, you can kind of see as it changes, as I go over it, those black lines. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's about 10 tall. But what I want to show you is, so this is 1, 2, 3. How far up you can chop standing in one place, or you can break any block. That's not just chopping wood; it's any block that you can break, because you only have such a certain radius around you where you can break blocks without having to move. So that's 3. Wait, that was 4, 5, 6, 7, and you can't reach that 8th one. So you can break 7 blocks high, and you can't reach the 8th one. The only way to actually break that one is to then, if you can put something down below you. This is actually a good thing to show you over here, as it is anyway. Affectionately, this is called nerd pulling, and the idea being that if I wanted to break a block that was up there that I can't reach, say that one right there. Oh, it just broke, or degraded, but here, maybe I'll show you on this one. It's okay, I can reach that one, but I can't reach that one up there. So what you can do is you set any block down. Dirt works pretty good for this, because it's easily breakable with your fist or something else, or even with a stone shovel. It's really quick. And then what you can do is you jump. So I'm hitting my space bar, and as you jump, you can place a block below you. Boom. So you can see that, and you just continue working your way up as high as you need to go, and then you have access to break that block. And then when you're done, you can just hit the block directly beneath you, and it takes you right back down to the bottom. So that can be a little bit dangerous if you accidentally break through something and you go down into a lava pit or something, but it's a really useful way to be able to get up and access something that's a little higher that you normally couldn't climb up to. So the last thing I want to show you today, and we might go and find some sheep and see if we can make a bed as our very last thing for the episode, but what I want to do right now is show you a real simple way to take down a tree that's this big. And this technique actually is really interesting. It works for two different things, for going up or for going down. So say you're going down you want to create a mine that's way below grade or way below level, because here, as you can see, we're at level 64. So down at level 0 is the bottom of the world, so to speak. So you can go down a good 60 blocks below ground level to do your mining, because after all, it is Minecraft. But so this technique kind of works in both directions. But so what you do is you start off and you hit one at your eye level, and you take another one out, and then you can jump up on the block that's below you there. And then what you want to do is you want to create basically a circular staircase going up. And because you need to be able to jump up, you have to take the one above you out too. So take that one, and then you take the one there and that one. And so now you can see it's created a step to jump up to and two spaces, which you have to be at least 2 blocks tall to fit your Steve character. And so you can just kind of continue this all the way up. Take the one above you, the one next to it, and the one right in front of you. Jump up, above you, right next to it, in front of you, and jump up. And so you can just, and if you get into a really good rhythm, you can go up and take out this tree really quickly. And so I'm only going to go part of the way here just to give you an idea. And then, you know what I think I'll do is I'll just go ahead and go all the way up. And so one of the things we're going to go do after we do this is we're going to go find some sheep. And the idea is that we need to make a bed. And what that bed's going to do is it's going to actually reset our spawn point from the place where we spawned into the world to wherever our bed is. And the reason that's really important is if I died right now, if I fell off this thing and I died, then I would end up going way back to spawn, and it's been long enough now, I don't remember where that is. Oh, this is another actually good tip too. So see how I'm kind of sinking down a little bit there? Here I'm going to go into my F5 screen so you can see me here. Oh. So I'm hitting my shift key. You see how I'm kind of crouching there? Hello, hello, dancing, dancing, dancing. What you're actually doing there is it's called sneaking. And so that's your sneak key. And so again, that's your shift key. I'll go back into first person. And what that allows you to do actually is it keeps you from falling off the edge. And so if I hit shift and then my W key, I can't go past the edge of this block. So I can't even step down. I could jump up if I wanted to, or I could actually jump down, but I don't want to do that. But see, I'm pressing W all the way out, and I'm not falling. And the nice thing about that is that you can do is you can actually turn around and see how you can see this face. You can place another block on that and continue to walk out past it. It took me forever to learn this when I first started playing Minecraft. And so the idea is you could build yourself a platform out instead of having to nerd pull all the way up here. You can actually do it from that point, and then you can break it out pretty easy. So that shift key is a real important way to keep you from falling to your death a lot. So I thought that'd be pretty useful. So anyway, back to the bed. The recipe for a bed is 3 planks of any wood, and then 3 wool. And I'm guessing you could probably figure out what the wool comes from. It comes from sheep. And so we just need to go, you have 2 different ways of getting it from the sheep. You can either, I hate to say it, I was a vegetarian for 23 years, so, but you can kill them, and then you also get mutton out of it, so it's food source as well, which it didn't used to be that way before 1.8. Or you can shear them, and to shear them you need 2 pieces of iron to create shears, iron ingots, and because we haven't gone mining yet, we don't have that iron, and we need a bed before we die, especially if we go down into the caves, because there's a lot of mobs down there that will take great joy in killing you and taking all of your stuff, even though they don't take your stuff. Although sometimes, zombies and skeletons will actually take your armor or your weapons that you leave behind. Okay, so here we are. We're at the top of the tree. And, you know, great view from up here. But now, how do we get down? So you could work your way all the way back down, killing or taking out one block at a time. But what I like to do is I'll actually stand right. Oh, so I've got my shift key down, and I'm going to get right over this point right here. And then I'm holding my shift key still, so I won't fall. And then I just start breaking them in kind of a circular pattern. I'm just turning my viewpoint and taking out the one below me. One at a time. Nice quick way to do it. And you can see where my the blue and the red pointer there, that's the 3D version, the debug screens version of our little cross, but I'm pointing it at the block that I want to break as I'm coming down. So, and then you get down here and you just finish them off. Oh, and you can see that one tree, for the most part, ruined that axe. So stone tools just don't last very long. That's why you need to get iron as fast as you can. But so let's see how many blocks we got out of that tree. So there was actually, we got that from a couple of trees, but look at that, almost 2 full stacks of wood, and that's going to last us quite a long time. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go drop this off real quick. Let's eat real fast. Oh, just in case I didn't show you that, if you so eating, all you need to do is put your cursor on your hotbar over. Is that a skeleton in here? Over the food you want to eat, and then right-click. And I'm not going to eat this pork chop but that's what I'm doing. I'm just right-clicking, and you just hold it down long enough for that food to get chomped up. So I'm going to go put this stuff away, and then I'm going to go find some sheep, and rather than spend like 30 minutes looking for sheep, I'm just going to go do it real quick, and then I'll cut back in and show you what it looks like. So I'll be right back. Hello? Hello? How you doing, boys? Boys and girls? Oh, hi. Excuse me. Oh, pardon me. Am I in your way? I would like to pet you, but I can't pet you, because if I swung at you with my hand like that, I would hit you, and that would hurt. So that's actually one of the reasons why we are here right now, is I found a little flock of sheep, and we're actually not that far away from home. It's just right back over the hill over there a little bit. And as I was running around the mountain over here and contemplating my life and the fate of these sheep, I decided, well, I couldn't go kill them for the mutton and for the wool, not when there's another option in the game. So what I did is I found a little cave on the other side there. I got enough cobble to make a furnace, and I got some coal, and I found a little bit of iron. So this is a good opportunity to show you how to turn iron ore into an iron ingot. And so you have your furnace here, and you just drop it in the top slot there. And then coal, charcoal, you can actually use wood. There's a lot of different things you could possibly use to do this with. You drop it in the bottom, and now you can see it's cooking it, and it's going to turn it into an ingot. You do this with coal and iron ore. You don't, with iron and gold. You don't do it with diamonds or emeralds or lapis or redstone or anything else, really. These are the only things that you really craft ingots with in vanilla Minecraft. And then with those ingots, you make helmets and swords and pickaxes and things like that. In fact, that's as we're waiting for this to come out, that's one thing I should point out to you too. When you find diamonds and emerald, don't use your stone pickaxe, because if you break it with a stone pickaxe or your hand or anything like that, it'll actually just break the block and you'll lose the gems. You need to have an iron ingot or better. An iron stone, an iron pickaxe or a diamond pickaxe to break those and to actually get the gems back out of it. So now that we're done with that, I'm going to go ahead and take the coal out as well. I'll probably just leave these here. We're going to probably be coming back through here at some point anyway. This is a plains biome, which is really nice. And now I'm going to show you how to make shears, the humane way to take the wool from our fine fleecy friends. So we create shears with 2 ingots. I'm not going to make 2 of them, but 2 ingots in this pattern, and it can be anywhere in your crafting table. In fact, I didn't even need a crafting table. You could actually make shears in your head if you have to. But I went ahead and made a crafting table anyway, because we're going to make a bed now that the sun's going down. So let's go. You just right click on the sheep and you get your wool out of them. And let's get some more wool out of you. There we go. Ooh, did I get enough? Ooh, look at that. I got 5 pieces. So you can get up, I think, between 1 and 3 pieces out of a sheep. And then you do 3 pieces of wool on top like that. And then, oh no, I don't have enough wood. I used it to make my table with. Oh no, let's go over here and grab something real quick. Let's hope we don't have any bad mobs come out while we're doing this. I just need 1 piece of wood. That's all I need. Give me 1. Give me 1. Thank you. Alright, let's try this again. Whoa. This was probably good just to show you the whole technique anyway. So we're going to drop that in here. Get our 4 planks. 3 planks on the bottom. 3 wool on top. And there's our bed. And so we can drop it into our inventory. And actually, no, let's just go ahead and do it here. You got to be careful when you're out in the wilderness like this, but it still works, especially if it's just starting to go night. If it's been night for a while and you do this, it's possible that mobs could get you, but we're just starting. So you just put your bed down on the ground. You needed 2 spots by 1 to do it, and then you right click on it, and then you can see we're going to bed. And then as the moon rises, oh, and there you go, you pop out right next to it. And now actually our spawn point is set, so now if I were to die anywhere else, I would come in right here, except for the fact that I'm going to break my bed and take it with me now. So I just broke my new spawn point, and so now if I was to die before I replace it and reset it, I would end up back at the original spawn. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back and I'm going to put this bed into our hidey hole, and I think that's going to be enough for day 2 of Live to Learn, or Learn to Live, I should say. I'm going to get that backwards the whole time, I can guarantee that. But anyway, this is the end of episode 2, and we will see you on the next episode. And I think we're going to spend the next episode caving and looking for a bunch of different ores and getting down into the bowels of the earth to see what sort of crazy things are down there. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next episode of Learn to Live. Thanks, and bye-bye.